For today's digital pop art lesson, go to your Google Classroom and open the Google Drawings document I gave you a copy of. Once that opens, you're going to see this blank canvas. Follow along with me, pause the video as needed, and go back and forth. Step 1, click on the shapes and pick a square. Go to the very corner, click and drag until you see the middle line turn red. That means you're in the middle of that canvas. And same thing with that bottom line, it turned red. So that means that square I've made is exactly the size of a fourth of the section. Next, I went into shapes and grabbed a circle, and I'm going to be thinking of making an oval kind of in the bottom of this section. So I'm going to drag that circle, and if it didn't end up where you liked it, you can always grab it and move it. Now, we're going to make sure we're selected on that and do edit, copy, edit, paste. We want an exact copy of that. Now we're going to take the second one and line it up just above the first oval. So you can see you kind of have these stacked on top of each other. Next, go back to the circle and we're going to make a smaller circle inside of the top oval. About the same dimension, but just smaller. Think of this as the donut hole. All right, we're going to do copy and paste on that little one. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to drag this, but we're going to put it underneath the first oval. And once I click off of this, you'll see it just kind of gives it a little bit of dimension there. All right, next we're going to be adding frosting to our donut. So I want you to click and zoom in so that you can really see what you're doing, and then move this over so that the donut is really centered on your screen. Now go to the line function and click curve. All right, so it's going to be this little plus. So you're going to click once, move your mouse, click again, and then you're just going to be clicking one time. You're not holding your mouse down, you're clicking. But if you click too close to the last shape or you double click on accident, it's going to actually stop your drawing. You don't want that. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to start it again. And I'm just trying to create from the very edge of my oval, top oval, down to the edge of my bottom oval there. And then across here, a wavy line, thinking of kind of dripping frosting. Take your time. This you might have to experiment with a couple of times before you get it right. It takes a little bit of time to get used to using this curve function because again, you're not clicking and dragging, you're just doing simple click, 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 click. Now I'm going to continue my wavy line across here until I get to the edge of my oval. I'm going to go up to the top edge of the top, or the side edge of the top oval. And then I'm going to go across here, kind of following this curve, just slightly above the curve of that oval, because we want it to overlap slightly. So I'm just, again, click, click, click. Now, when I get over here, I'm going to go right back to where I started. And when I click on that starting point, that actually creates that as a shape, which is great because we're going to need that to fill it in later. All right, last step are going to be some sprinkles. So just drag a circle shape one time as a sprinkle and then do copy and paste. And we're just going to copy and paste, or actually just paste, paste, paste as many sprinkles as you want. You can always go in and even add more. I'm going to paste this like, I don't know, 8 or 9 times. Once I have a bunch of them, I'm going to grab one at a time, move it over, and using the little circle above the shape, if I grab that little circle and push it one side or the other, you can tilt because you want all your sprinkles like they randomly fell onto the donut, not that each one was placed vertically. So just kind of spreading these out, move your screen so you can see what you're doing. And again, your sprinkles might be a little bit bigger or smaller than mine. That's okay. You might have more than my sprinkles. That's okay. I wouldn't do very many less than what I have because it wouldn't really fill in your space. Great. Now let's go back to our zoom function and zoom fit. Now that we can see this, we need to select this drawing we did. So we're going to take our mouse on the outside of our canvas there and click and drag. Make sure you overlap all of it. That selected all of our shapes. So now we went copy and paste, and look what it did. It made an entire new copy of that donut. I am moving it over, trying to align it with the other one in the edge of the canvas. I'm going to go ahead and paste again. I'm going to be making 4 of these and putting them onto the canvas as straight and even as I can, using those red lines that show you you're centered on the other shape. One more. If you accidentally click on one of the shapes, just undo it, because it'll like take one sprinkle off of there. You don't want that. So just undo and then re-click and drag the whole thing. All right, so now it's color time. And all you have to do is click on the shape. I'm going to start with my background. Again, think big, bold, bright colors for pop art. And don't forget, your donut hole inside of there is the background. So now I have a green background. Let's go with the icing. So I click kind of above the icing, pick whatever color looks good. And don't forget your drips of icing. They need to be the same color. Okay, let's go into the actual donut. Your donut can be a real donut color, one of these lighter lighter colors, or it could be something wild and crazy. Now, it's a little hard to get the little sliver of donut right there, but kind of click until you find that you've got the right area. Now, for my sprinkles, I'm going to get wild and crazy and do different colors for each of them. You do not have to do different colors for each of them. If you want all of your sprinkles to be the same color, that's okay with me. All right, so I'm going to continue this process, adding color to all of the donuts and making sure I use different colors for the whole thing so that it looks like pop art. And this is a sped up version. If something happens and you color it the wrong color, just hit the back button and that will make it to where you can fix the color. Alrighty, last sprinkle here. Now, the last thing I need to do is to get rid of this kind of weird squiggly line I have between my frosting. You see there's a division between the top of my donut and the drips. So I'm going to click and drag, grabbing the entire canvas, and that selects everything. Go to your border and hit transparent, border color transparent. And what that does is it gets rid of all of those outlines. Awesome job. All right, to turn this in, just go back to your Google Classroom and you can just click Turn In. If you want to make sure your drawing is in there, click on the document and it should bring up the drawing you just did. And then once it's in there, click Turn In and I will get to see your awesome artwork. Great work today.